This is the Investor Connect podcast program. This is Hall T. Martin. I'm the host of the show, in which we interview angel investors, venture capital, private equity, family offices, and many other investor groups for startups and growth companies. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for joining us. Well, hello, this is Hall Martin with Investor Connect. Today I'm here with Jose Luis Silva, co-founder and managing partner of Duke Capital VC. Duke Capital emerges as a beacon of change within the American venture capital landscape, carving a niche as one of the select VC funds exclusively dedicated to nurturing the growth of early-stage startups led by Latinx founders. Jose, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Hal. It is amazing for giving me the space to
Great.
hear your
So
audience.
where are you calling from today?
So I'm here in Austin, Texas, where I live with my family.
Great. I'm here in Austin as well, so glad to connect with you over the Riverside today. So let's just jump right into it. What was your background before joining Duke Capital?
Yeah, sure. So before starting the fund, I used to be an investment banker, sold my soul to the devil those years in my 20s. So it was a great timing. I spent there almost 10 years, specialized in M&A and capital markets as well. And I specialized to blue chip companies, trying to buy or sell. And I did that in Mexico City. I'm Mexican. So I did that. Then I got rid of that one for my MBA. And then everything started from there when I started the fund.
Great. So what excites you right now?
Yeah. So, I mean, at that moment, there was a very great aha moment for me during my MBA, because in investment banking, you don't see the reality, which is the entrepreneurs outside that are making the reality, right? The ones that start creating and start their own business. So that was the thing that made me very excited about when I was studying. And actually that was a driver to start my own fund in Mexico City. So today, that same spark is a spark that makes me wake up every day. The entrepreneurs that are outside. And since I am Mexican and now I live in the US, I've personally lived what is to come in as an immigrant, and it's difficult to blend in. So since day one, I dedicated my fund to invest in people like me, so they would never fail because of the lack of money. So that makes me very excited every day, makes me continue every day to invest in early stage Latinos that are changing this country.
Well, you see a lot of startups and a lot of investors. What's your advice for people investing in startups? What do you tell them to do before they write that check?
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, it is about the team, right? So you can have a great product, an iPhone 14 Pro X, Max, whatever. But if you have a bad team, you will not sell that product. Instead, you can have a perfect team, an amazing team, amazing human beings, and probably you can have a bad product or service, but you will make it happen. You will pivot, you will make enhancements, whatever. So with that said, my number one thing is to really get to know the team, the founders behind these startups. And not only the founders, also if these founders, they already have a team in place, go and interview everyone in the company, in the startup. I think everything starts from there. So building that relationship with that team is vital for any investor, either an angel investor, a friends and family, or even a venture capital, institutional venture capital like us. That for me is the differentiator between a good and a bad investment.
Great. And on the other side of that table, what's your advice for people running startups? What do you tell the founders to do before they go out to raise funding?
The same again. So if you go out there, there's a lot of money, but you have to direct that money to what you do. First, try to search for investors that do invest in your industry. Try to find investors that have the same mission that you have. For example, if you're a Latino and you go to see who is Duke's Capital and you see that Duke's Capital invests in Latinos, then there is a fit there. So my recommendation is to always try to look for that fit with the investor. And again, make a relationship with that investor. If that fund or group of allocators has a lot of different collaborators, try and become friends with all of them and try to attack these investors in many instances. So that is my recommendation with startups seeking an investment round.
Great. Well, let's talk about the state of startup investing. How do you see the industry evolving these days?
So, I mean, I'm very positive on the situation these days. 2023 for an asset allocator such as us, it's going to be one of the best vintage years in the past 10 years, said by different analysts and us as well, because venture capital and investing in startups is counter-cyclical. When you allocate this capital in macroeconomic situations such as today, valuations are more into ground, more not that overvaluated. So this 2023, it's going to be a great allocation for venture capitals and investors. And in turn, for startups, if they find those investors, it is a good moment because unfortunately, money is scarce, more scarce this year. But I believe it's going to be a good momentum for both startups and VC funds. Startups who innovate are the ones that are winning, that are going to win. And it is difficult to find them, but of course, you have to be very active as an investor in order to find these good deals. I'm bullish on the US market, especially when you invest in diversity and inclusion, which we do, because diversity, it is proven that drives larger profits.
Great. Well, let's talk about your fund. Tell us more about your investment thesis for this sector of investing in Latinx. What exactly are you looking for?
Sure, thank you. So, first of all, as a general rule, we have to have 4 variables in order to invest. We have to have knowledge on that industry. We have to have network on that industry, and we have to have a background on that industry. And of course, it has to be a Latino founder. So, with these 4 variables, because we are a smart money fund, if we don't have these variables, we cannot invest because money's out there. But I think that an active investor in your startup, it is very valuable. So we like to lead our rounds all the time because of our investment banking background. We do so. And we invest in early stages, meaning seed and Series A rounds, especially seed rounds. We allocate $1 million on average in these startups. And these startups have to be located in the US market. We receive pipeline from most of the US states, but primarily in the states that the Latino community is more present. A lot from California, Texas, of course, Florida, Chicago, the Boston area as well, New York. And that is our main thesis. We are, as I said, a very active but non-invasive investor.
Sounds good. Can you talk about a portfolio company that fits that thesis?
Yeah. For example, in industries like fintech, insurtech, legal tech, e-commerce, we are one of the few Latino funds that invest in CPG as well, because we have background on the CPG industry, like food tech or around logistics as well, last mile delivery, e-commerce, marketplaces. And one example of a CPG investment that we've done in Fund 1, today we're in Fund 2, it is Chetty's, which is an Austin-based CPG startup that uses regenerative cheese that created a cracker that competes with crackers that are mostly on non-cheese elements. So we invested in them 3 years ago, and today we're helping them sail in all around the place in the US, in Latin America as well. And that is an example of a startup. We invested in their pre-seed round, and today they're raising a Series A round. So like those, we have invested in 18 startups since we started. This is our 8th year of operations, and in Fund 2.
Great. So I always ask this question: what online resource do you find most helpful for your work?
So I would say 3 of them. I love PitchBook. It is an amazing place to look for deals, especially for venture capital deals. So that one is very valuable, not only to search for deals, but also to search for comps, right? So when you want to evaluate the startup, it is a great place to see comparables and see multiples around different sectors. Crunchbase as well, I like it very much, which all these deals are reported there as well. And there's another one that I really like called Equidam. I'm going to send the link. So Equidam gives you an online platform to prepare valuations, even if you're not a finance guy. So this is great for VC funds or for investors in general, but also is very good for founders to try to prepare your valuation of your startup. So I would say those three are amazing.
Well, that sounds good. So you see a lot of businesses and new business models and technologies. If you could start a business tomorrow, what would that business be?
Yeah. So, I mean, I love this question. We receive 30 startups per week. So we see a lot, and I'm very grateful for that. And we've seen amazing business ideas. So one that excites me a lot since we started, it's in fintech, especially with the Latino population. The underrepresentation of banking services to our community has been historically low. The remittances that go from the US to Latin America, it's $1 trillion businesses. So I would do something around that, combining crypto, blockchain, and fintech in order to help Latinos in the remittances area. So that would be something that I would be interested in doing. There's startups that are doing this historically, but I would try to do something around that, more innovative and more accessible to our community.
Cool. Well, in the last few minutes that we have here, what else should we cover that we haven't?
So probably in our team, I would say it is a very diverse team. All of us are Mexican. We are two co-founders, Daniel Santamarina and myself, and Susana Espinosa de los Reyes, our third partner. She is one of the few Latina GPs. Unfortunately, we need more. And talking about Latinos, probably I can say that we are 19% of the population of the US. And unfortunately, less than 2% of money flows into us. So that is a glaring disparity that cannot be ignored. So we are not only a profit-driven fund, but as I said, a mission-driven fund. So I invite our audience to take a look at this misrepresentation, because it's not only in the Latino community, but in a lot of immigrants. So that it's amazing, because we combine the mission with the profit, right? So our team is very specialized on tackling this type of investments. And take a look at our webpage and all the materials that we're going to send to see how we do it, right? So probably that could add up to what we've been talking.
Great. Well, so how best for listeners to get back in touch with you?
Yeah, sure. So I respond to everyone. So my email, please send me an email at any time. I'm very intense. jl@duxcapital.vc or Dux Capital. The right name is Dux. And I didn't say it. Dux means leader in Latin. So jl@duxcapital.vc. And obviously, welcome to receive any LinkedIn contact. And obviously, in our webpage, www.duxcapital.vc. That's the best way to get hold of us. But please send me an email, and I'll respond to you at ASAP.
Cool. Well, we'll include that in the show notes. I want to thank you for joining us today, and hope to have you back for a follow-up soon.
Thank you very much, Paul. This was amazing, and hello to all the audience as well.
Investor Connect helps investors interested in startup funding. In this podcast series, experienced investors share their experience and advice. You can learn more at investorconnect.org. Halty Martin is the director of Investor Connect, which is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the education of investors for early-stage funding. All opinions expressed by Hall and podcast guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinion of Investor Connect. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions.